This is the video for the Chapter 6 for Math 8, Chapter 6, Quiz 2 in-class review sheet. This is the review for the quiz. This is on sections 6.5, 6.6, and 6.7. So when we take a look at the first section, you have 4 reflections questions. Remember, if reflection is a flipped opposite mirror image, same size, same shape, it's just that flipped opposite mirror image. You want to count how many places to the line and then count the same number of places away from the line. In question number 1, you'll notice that it is a reflection over the y-axis. The first thing that I would do is make that y-axis darker. That's the line that you're counting to and the line that you're counting from. The biggest mistake that people make on this question and the next one is doing it over the wrong axis. So if you make that line darker right away, you're less likely to make a mistake. So starting with A, you want to count one place to the y-axis and then count one place away from it. That is A prime. Label it right away because you need to draw the picture, you need to label it, and you need to write the coordinates. Starting at B, B is one place to it. So one place away from it, this is B prime. C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places away from the line. That is C prime. Connect the dots, and you have your flipped opposite mirror image. Notice same size, same shape, it's just flipped. When you go to do your coordinates, remember your first number is how many you go over. Your second number is how many you go up or down. When you do your coordinates, remember you always start counting from right in the middle where the X and Y axis cross. So you're starting counting from the point 0, 0. So A prime, starting in the middle at that green dot, over to -1, down to -1. So -1, -1. Make sure when you write your coordinates, you have parentheses and a comma. B prime is over to -1, down to -3. C prime is over to -5, down to -2. So we graphed it, we labeled it with primes. Primes are the little apostrophe, and we wrote down the coordinates. In question number 2, you're doing a reflection, this time over the x-axis. So the first thing that I'm going to do is make that x-axis darker. That's the line that you're counting to and from. D is one place to the line, so it's one place away from the line. That's D prime. E is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places away from the line. That is E prime. F is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places away from the line. That is F prime. Connect the dots, and there's your flipped opposite mirror image. Same size, same shape, it's just flipped. You should always get one picture on one side of the line, one picture on the other side of the line. Again, when we do our coordinates, the first number is how many we go over. The second number is how many we go up or down. So starting in the middle, remember we always start counting from right at that green dot right in the middle at 0, 0. D prime is over to -1, up to +1. E prime over to -3, up to +5. And F prime over to -1, up to +5. In question number 3 and question number 4, you're just going to be given a random horizontal line like this one is, or in question number 4, you're going to be given a random vertical line. So in question number 3, that line is already drawn for you. So you just have to count. G is 1, 2, 3 places to the line. 1, 2, 3 places away from the line. That's G prime. H is 1, 2, 3 places to the line. 1, 2, 3 places away from the line. That's H prime. I is one place to it. I prime, one place away from it. Again, you get that flipped opposite mirror image. You want to start counting for your coordinates right from that green dot right in the middle. G prime is over to 1, up to 0. We don't go up or down at all, so it's up to 0. H prime over to 5 up 0, and I prime over to 5 up to 2. In question number 4, we have a random vertical line. J is one place to it. J prime, one place away from it. K is one place to it. K prime, one place away from it. L, 1, 2, 3 places to it. 1, 2, 3 places away from it is L prime. Connect the dots, and you have your flipped opposite mirror image. Same size, same shape. It's just flipped. One on one side of the line, one on the other side. Now to write your coordinates. J prime over to -4, and then up to +5. K prime over to -4, up to +1. And L prime over -6 would be right here because it's after -5. It just doesn't say the -6, but that's the next number. So over to -6, up to +1. So again, on 1, 2, 3, and 4, you're counting how many places to the line, then counting that same number of places away from it. Now, question number 5. Question number 5 is our dilations, all right? For the primes right here, we're doing a 90 degrees clockwise rotation. When you do a clockwise rotation, clockwise goes around like the hands of a clock does. So when we go and do our 90 degrees clockwise rotation, we're going to take our picture and turn it. Oops, I missed the C there. Let me try again. We're going to take our picture and we're going to turn it 90 degrees clockwise. Clockwise goes around like the hands of a clock. When you turn your paper, the numbers are wrong. You have to remember that positive numbers always go up and to the right. Negative numbers always go down and to the left. When you turn your paper, those numbers are wrong. So you have to really look and see what exactly is going on. Positive numbers always go up and to the right. Negative numbers always go down and to the left. When I take a look at A looks like we're going over to 6 and down to 3, but it's not 6, 3, it's 6, -3. The reason why it's negative is because we're going down. Down is negative. B looks like it's over to 2, down to 1. It's not over to 2, down to 1. It's over to 2, down to -1. Because anytime we go down, down is negative. And then C prime is over to 2, down to -5. It looks like it's +5, but anytime we go down, down is negative. I would wait to graph those points until the very, very end. The next thing that we're going to do is 180. 180 degrees is completely upside down. Again, when you have it completely upside down, every single number is wrong. Positive numbers go up and to the right. Negative numbers go down and to the left. So when I look at A looks like it's over to 3, down to 6, but it's not 3, 6. It is -3, -6, because we're going over to -3 to the left, and then down. Anytime we go down, down is negative, so down to -6. B looks like it is over to 1, down to 2. It's not over to 1, it's over to -1 because it's to the left, and it's down to -2 because anytime we go down, down is negative. C looks like it's at 5, 2. It's not at 5, 2. We're going to the left, so that's the -5. Then we're going down, so that's -2. The third kind is a 90 degrees counterclockwise rotation. Counterclockwise is backwards clock. So we're really turning our paper like this, backwards clock to the side. So now, when I take a look at these numbers are going to be wrong as well. This is 90 degrees counterclockwise. So when I look at A looks like it's at over to 6, up to 3. It's not over to 6 though. Anytime we go to the left is really negative. So this is really over to -6, up to +3. B prime, over to 2, up to 1. It's not over to 2, it's over to -2 and up to 1. And then C looks like it's over to 2 and up to 5. It's not over to 2, it's over to -2 and then up to 5. Now that we have our points, we can turn our paper back to normal and we can graph our 3 triangles. So if I graph the clockwise ones, 90 degrees clockwise, over to 6, down to -3, this is where A prime is at. To -1, that's B prime. And to -5, that's C prime. Connect the dots. And notice that our paper or our picture turned 1 quadrant and it's going around like the hands of a clock. So it's going clockwise. Anytime it's a 90-degree rotation, this is 1 quadrant that you're turning it. For the 180, -3, -6, over to -3, down to -6. This is A double prime. -1, -2, that's B double prime. And C double prime is -5, -2, that's C double prime. Connect the dots. And we have our picture. Notice that we turned 2 quadrants. Anytime that we turn 2 quadrants, that is going to be 180 degrees. Then we have the 90 degrees counterclockwise. -6, 3, that's A triple prime. B triple prime is -2, 1, that's B triple prime. And then C triple prime is -2, 5. Connect the dots. Notice that from our original picture, we went 1 quadrant, but backwards. Backwards clock is counterclockwise. So 90 degrees counterclockwise. Again, that's going to be a 1 quadrant turn. Those are going to be helpful for later on. You should end up with 1 picture in each quadrant. The next thing that we have to do from 6, 7 is we have to do combinations of things. You're going to be doing 2 things. So a combination between translations, reflections, rotations, and dilations. Remember that a translation slides a picture. How many left or right? How many up or down? A reflection is that flipped opposite mirror image. It might go up and down like that one, or side to side like that one. A dilation makes a picture bigger or smaller. You're going to be multiplying by something. If the number is a big number like 3 or 2, a number that's not a fraction, a number that's greater than 1, that's going to get bigger. If you're multiplying by a fraction like 1/2, it's going to be smaller. A rotation turns a picture, whether it's 90 degrees clockwise, 180, or 90 degrees counterclockwise. So in this first one, they tell you the rules. The first thing that they want you to do here is a translation of right 5, up 6. So we're going to start at A. We're going to go right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's our new A prime. B, right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's our new B prime. And then we have, let me just erase this little thing here that I didn't mean to do that. And then we have C prime, right 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is our new C prime. There's our new picture. All we did was a translation, right 5 and up 6. Our last thing that we need to do now is a reflection over the x-axis. We already used this picture. Then we went to this picture. Well, we're going to use the second picture to do this third picture. So now we're using the red one. We're doing a reflection over the x-axis. We're done with that original picture. So we're going to use this red picture and do a reflection over the x-axis. We're going to use triangle number 2 to draw triangle number 3. So A is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places away from it. This is A double prime. B is 1 place to it, 1 place away from it. So that's B double prime. Same thing with C, 1 place to it, 1 place away from it. That is C double prime. And now we have our flipped opposite mirror image. So our first change gets the single primes. and our second change gets the double primes. You use your second picture to draw your third picture. In question number 7, again, you're doing that same thing. This time we have a rotation. All right, this one's a little bit hard for me to do on the board, but let's see how we can do it here. We're going to do a rotation of 180. 180 is completely upside down. So the first thing that I'm going to do is write down my coordinates, and I'm just going to do it over here to the side for A prime, B prime, and C prime. This is a 180-degree rotation. So when I turn my paper upside down, every number is wrong. A looks like it's at 1, 2, over to 1, down to 2. Over to the left is really negative, down is really negative. So A prime is really -1, -2. B looks like it's at 1, 0. It's not 1, 0. Over to the left is negative, so it's -1, 0. C looks like it's at 2, 0. It's not at 2, 0. Over to the left is negative, so it's -2, 0. I'm now going to take and turn my paper back to normal. And I'm going to graph the 180-degree rotation. So when I go to graph it, -1, -2 is right here. That's A prime. -1, 0, that's B prime. -2, 0, that's C prime. There's our 180-degree rotation. The next thing that we're going to do is a dilation of 3. Dilation of 3 means that we want to multiply by 3. We want to take all 3 of those coordinates and multiply by 3, multiply by 3, multiply by 3. So when I go to do that, my A double prime will end up being -1 times 3 is -3, -2 times 3 is -6. For B double prime, -1 times 3 is -3, 0 times 3 is 0. C double prime, -2 times 3 is -6, 0 times 3 is 0. So I have -3, -6. That's A double prime. -3, 0, that's B triple prime. And -6, 0. It's sort of going to be hard to see here. It's right in here. This is C double prime. I'm going to connect my dots. And I get that new bigger triangle. When we take a look at the last question, right? First of all, if I had give you this, most people would think that, oh, this is a reflection. It's not a reflection though. You have to be very, very, very careful. This is not a reflection because notice when I draw that line down the middle, this point does not match up with that point. The points match up, but do the letters match up? No. Same thing with down here. The letters don't match up. Same thing with up here and over here. The letters don't match up. Remember, it's not just the shape that has to match up. The letters have to match up also. What's actually happening here is it is turning, all right, and it would be a 90 degrees clockwise rotation. Be very, very careful. Sometimes you have to look at the letters, not just the picture. So when I take a look at this, how do I get from A to A prime to A double prime? So I'm going from here to here to here. My first picture to get from the blue triangle, the no prime, to the single triangle in the red prime, I am turning it. So it is going to be a rotation. To get to this red triangle, it is a rotation. It's moving 1 quadrant over and it's turning clockwise. So it is a 90 degrees clockwise rotation. You can't just say rotation. You have to say how many degrees, either 90 or 180, and then clockwise or counterclockwise. Then to get from the red triangle to the purple triangle or pink triangle, to get from there, it looks like a flipped opposite mirror image. Here's our mirror. Here's our line of reflection. So it is then a reflection. You can't just say a reflection. You have to say over the x-axis or over the y. Notice, here's my x. So it's over the x-axis. So our final answer is a rotation 90 degrees clockwise. than a reflection over the x-axis. And in the last one, again, I'm going from my original to my single prime to my double prime. I noticed right away in my first one, the triangle is getting smaller. Things that get smaller are a dilation. Well, it went from 2 units long to 1 unit long. It went from 4 to 2. It is half the size of the original. So it is a dilation of 1/2. Another way that I can look at it is to look at the coordinates. If you take a look at B, B is at 2, 2. Now it's at 1, 1. 1 is half of 2. Now to get from triangle number 2 to triangle number 3, I am sliding. I'm going to the left and I'm going down. If I start with A prime, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places to the left. So it is a translation of left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then down 1, 2, 3. So down 3. So it's a translation of left 5, down 3. Again, those are the things that you need to know for your quiz. Your quiz will look just like it.